And I cannot tell you how many people, if you listen every day, you realize how many parents have called in and said, "What am I going to do with my kids this summer?" But there is an alternative, and that alternative is to make sure that your child has fun, that they learn, and at the same time build character. And there is a place that your child can do that this summer if you are really that concerned and you have the means to do so, and you don't have to send them that far away, but give them an experience of a lifetime. Bad. Joining me on the live line is Kevin Gordon. He is the owner and director of Camp Kupugani. Kevin Gordon, welcome to the program. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. You know, there are so many options. You know, I was just saying to the audience, I do understand that a lot of parents are a little nervous about the upcoming summer, as well as their own children, of what to do with the kids to keep them occupied, off the streets, and engaged. And I get the impression that your camp is a great alternative for some of these parents that want to not only have their kids learn, but stay engaged and build their character. And tell us about your camp.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We operate Camp Kupugani, which is a multicultural summer camp about 90 minutes west of O'Hare. And we have separate girls-only and boys-only sessions, so it's single-sex sessions. And we're pretty intentional about the diversity of our camp, also about the character building and also the interacting with different kids so that they're able to challenge themselves to do things that they didn't otherwise think that they could do.
Mm-hmm. And so why, and one of the emphasis is that you wanted to be multicultural. Why is that so important?
You know, it's important because that's the world that we are living in, increasingly going to be living and should be living in, as far as I'm concerned. In camping, generally, just because the traditionally has been a predominantly not very diverse opportunity for people or for youth, despite the huge benefits of camp with the character development. And so when I first got involved in camping, I didn't have the fortune of going to camp as a youngster. But when I was in college, I worked at a summer camp. And the more involved I got with camps in general, the more I realized that they were either all this or all that, and there wasn't really any diversity. So from that point, decided that what I wanted to be when I grew up was to have a camp where we could be intentionally multicultural and intentionally diverse and bring together kids of all different backgrounds to kind of celebrate and appreciate themselves for however they want to identify themselves, but also to appreciate difference in others.
That's really interesting. I was just telling the listeners, too, that when I was a kid, I always thought that was really cool to go away to camp. They just look like, I'm a creature of comfort, but I think I could, as a kid, if I could deal with some of the things I was dealing with at home, I could probably get away from the homestead a little bit and get into a little bit of outdoorsy things. What are some of the things that the kids do? We'll get to the leadership and that sort of, but what are some of the outdoor activities and things that they're introduced to?
Well, in addition to, we do a lot of team building activities, so they get to kind of experience growth as a team on a challenge course.
Okay.
Over the course of our sessions. But also we have different, more traditional camp activities. So you get to do, archery and rock climbing on a natural limestone cliff, swimming, canoeing in the pool, in the lake, river walking. So there's a lot of opportunity to kind of celebrate the kind of rich natural outdoor environment while you're able to do, just fun activities. You get to also do mud volleyball, sand volleyball, all sorts of things to get the kids running around and having fun and developing those skill sets as well.
How long have you been doing this?
Our Camp Kupugani, we're entering our 7th summer of our multicultural camp. I've also been involved in camping for about 25 years, and then the camp that we bought, which was originally Camp White Eagle, has actually been there since 1951.
Wow. So that's really interesting. I mean, I can imagine what Camp White Eagle was and who was introduced to it. Why is it important to get kids from the city? I'm not going to say inner city kids, but kids that have been born and raised in the city who pretty much do nothing for the most part. Other if they're involved in soccer activities or extracurricular activities, but other than that are attached to their video games. Why is it important for our young people to understand the outdoors? Do you think that there's a need for it? Because I don't see a lot of kids, camping and, fishing and that sort of thing like we did when we were kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's really it's important because there's two different groups right now in camping in general. There's people who have the opportunity to do it, and those who don't, whether it's because of tradition or opportunity,
or exposure.
Camp, in general, is great because they get an opportunity to increase personal accountability, decision making, social skills, and appreciating natural surroundings. They get the character development of, making new friends, getting to know campers different from themselves, feeling good about themselves,
right,
doing things they, were at first afraid to do. They gain self-confidence. So it's important in so many ways. And unfortunately, what's happening now is that the people who are being served by camps are not reflecting the general population.
I just want to remind our listeners, you can go to WVON.com, and their logo is on a banner, and you can click in for more information, and I'll give you some more details with our guest, Kevin Gordon, when we come back from this break. Stay with us. We're talking about Camp Kupugani for your kids this summer, and see what you think about it. Stay with us. All right, it is 11:55. Our guest is Kevin Gordon. He's the owner and director of Camp Kupugani, and it is a multicultural summer camp for children's ages 7 to 15 with separate girls only and boys only sessions. And it sounds really interesting. What does Kupugani mean?
It means to raise oneself up. It was originally from Zulu concept.
Oh, okay. All right. That's wonderful. So give us a few little details. You did say there's separate girls only and separate boys only sessions. And how long is the camp?
Yes, we have separate girls only and boys only sessions. Our girls only sessions are 2 or 4 weeks, and those are from June 23rd to July 20th. And then our boys' 2-week session is from July 21st to August 3rd.
All right. And one of the things that really intrigued me was that you had a teen leadership program from girls and a mother-daughter program. Tell us a little bit about the teen leadership.
Yeah, correct. For our girls, we have for our 14 and 15-year-old campers, we have a leadership and training program. So that's when they get a little more, character development into being, solid mentors and young leaders. We also have a counselor in training program for returning 16-year-old campers, so they get to kind of further develop that. And as they continue with our program, they can get to be junior counselors at age 17. And then at age 18, we put them off into the world and, hopefully to return as great staff as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then we also have a mother-daughter weekend in August. This year's August 16th to 18th. And that's an opportunity for, a 3-part connection. We have, the mothers' activities, whether mothers get to connect with the daughters, where daughters get to connect with other daughters, but then also the bonus is, mothers get to connect with other mothers, so that they get to either celebrate and or commiserate, the joys and challenges of motherhood.
And this is a really critical time, and I like the ages that you did. It's a critical time. I mean, it's important for our young people to be able to talk to their parents, to have that type of relationship where they don't hold back, and you kind of build on that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because there's so many challenges being both for adults, but being young people, especially in these day and age, that when we're able to provide something that can facilitate that more open sharing discussion, it's a powerful tool for sure.
Well, I thank you so much for being with us today. Again, you can go to WVON.com and you can click for more information about Camp Kupugani. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Mr. Gordon.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.